Gamercast Network.
Hey. All right. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the Gamercast Network Video Game Show for Sunday, December 20th, 2009. This is episode 173. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call...
I don't want to do this. I'm going to go play Torchlight. Don't expect me to be paying attention.
I was sleeping.
Are people here trying to make up for Bob?
Yes.
I'm eating pork.
I'm sorry, I need to go kill a cow and eat it. I haven't eaten in the past 15 minutes.
I'm eating meat stew as we're recording, minus all of the things that go in the stew except meat.
My vegetable today is meat.
Okay, this week for the roll call, a question from Phil. Phil, go.
What game or games did you put on your Christmas wish list for Christmas this year?
Very good. And joining us this evening is... Well, Phil, since you asked the question, what is your answer?
You asked it.
I put Modern Warfare 2 for the Xbox 360.
Traitor.
Yeah, that was the only one that I put on my list.
Selling out to the man.
Okay, you got me. It was actually FIFA Soccer 2010.
I hear it's the best soccer game ever made. I almost said that without laughing.
Oh, you're full of them.
Soccer.
No love for soccer in this group, huh?
No, there's no love for soccer, and I know people, non-Americans, despise us for that. I mean, I can get behind any sport that people would kill each other over, though. I mean, I can approve of that. It's just a boring sport.
So you don't like soccer, but you're okay with the hooligans.
How are you not okay with hooligans?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm down with the hooligan. I don't go to games anyway because I don't like dealing with the hooligans. I just like hearing about the hooligan shenanigans. Hooligan shenanigans.
Hey, my name's Hooligan Shenanigan.
Okay, next on the list is Keith.
Dragon Age.
You.
So you don't want to spend your own money on it. You don't want to spend $60 on it, but if someone else spends $60 on it, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
You know what it boils down to is basically just that. It's Christmas is the time to get those games that look good that you just really don't feel like dropping the loot on. And that pretty much sums up Dragon Age there. So
Wage.
what's with you in the this week?
Bow, 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 bow. Cause you're bow, 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 now, bow, bow, playing game.
All right there.
I'm
not going to say just because it's extra shit that he's going to swear anyway. I was going to try to not swear to cause him to not have to edit, but I failed. So, okay there, sucker. What's your game on your Christmas list?
Yes, Ivan, what is your game?
I actually wasn't going to have any, strangely enough. The Christmas list that I made didn't originally have any games on it, and then I thought, I can't not get a video game for Christmas. It's like been 20 years since I haven't gotten a game. So I put Dragon Age on the list there.
Oh, but I'm a...
No, I mean, because I was thinking, the games that are already out and that we've talked about, Borderlands and Torchlight and all those, I already bought all those. So I was going down the list of things that I thought maybe I would like, kind of like Keith did. Games that I would like to play in the near future. I don't really want to spend the money on them right now because I don't have the time, and I don't really want to buy them at full price right now because I know I'm not going to play them right now. And there was only a couple games on that list, and Modern Warfare was one of them. But then I thought, no, if I'm going to play something that's not Borderlands or World of Warcraft or something, it's going to be a single-player game. So Dragon Age is like I don't want to say the number one single-player game of the year, but, it's one of the top single-player games out there, and everyone's saying good things about it, so...
Exactly. So it looks like a good game. It's just, with all the other games that have already been out, I just haven't wanted to go drop... Plus, I'm trying to conserve money. I think even... I don't know if I'm getting it or not, but the link I put on wasn't even a full-price game. It was for like $40. I don't put full-price brand new games on my list, though. I mean, I am at least courteous enough to do that.
And I did buy my kid Indiana Jones 2 for Christmas, so, I mean, it's for him, but, I mean, I'll be playing that too, so.
Right on. And what about you, Chad?
And me, well, This is going to be a very boring roll call question because I think I'm going to say...
Wait, let me guess. You got Wing Commander on there, don't you?
What? Wait. They haven't made a Wing Commander game in what? 8 years?
I'm sure they got one on Live Arcade or something, don't they?
Well, they have
Do I have to go
Wing
through...
Commander
Wait, hang on,
no,
stop.
No, we're not
Do I have
getting
to-
into that. No, there's no Wing Commander games for Xbox Live Arcade.
Very good. That's the right answer.
You have answered correctly. You have borne witness to my rants enough.
You can live, Ivan. Very good. Okay, now, very boring answer because I'm probably going to ask for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. But for the PC.
Oh, for the PC, though?
So you're the traitor.
Hey, I'm a hypocrite. Sue me.
I would never pay for Modern Warfare 2 on the PC. Now, if somebody else wants to pay for it, that's fine.
This week on the GamerCast Network. Pixel Junk Shooter, Revenge of the Wounded Dragons, and Blu-ray 3D are covered in episode 80 of the Sarcastic Gamer PlayStation podcast. The Podtoid has to apologize. Episode 129 is one of the most insane, fast-paced, and entertaining episodes they can remember, but the audio is awful. Adam Dork picked a hell of a week to go to Japan. Just how bad is the action puzzler The Void? Find out in episode 173 of the video game show. Discover the community that brings you all these great podcasts and more at GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
Christmas was always that time to take the gamble on the game because you're not paying for it. That sounds like such a dick thing to say, but it's true. I mean, that's the time you take your gamble on your games because you're not paying for it.
Because all of us are in a point in our lives where, for the most part, if we want a game, we're just going to buy it. We don't have to wait for Christmas or anything. We're not 12 anymore where we can't buy our own game, so we have to wait.
I also don't have to buy Tecmo Bowl with a pocket full of quarters, nickels, dimes, and pennies.
Save up your birthday money from grandma.
That lady hated me when I went in there to buy the original Tecmo Bowl. She just hated me.
Wait, you actually bought Tecmo Bowl with pennies, quarters, and dimes?
Yeah.
How much was Tecmo Bowl?
It was $50 or $60, and I went in there with just a pocket full of change.
Why was it so expensive so long ago?
That's what games were, dude. Nintendo games were still like $50.
They're $50 now.
They were $50 back in the day. What, you don't believe me?
No.
Okay, anyway.
I don't know how to respond to that. Okay.
See? Yeah. I told you, see?
Is there a website that even tracks MSRP on games?
That's kind of what I was thinking. I'm like, yeah, well, I'll freaking look it up. But I don't know where I would look.
That lady, I walked in, it was up at, in the Turney, is it the Turney Town? There was what was it, Walgreens?
Woolworths?
Woolworths. That's what it was, Woolworths. And, I just pulled out all this change, and you could just see the look on the lady's face, like, oh God, really? I mean, really? This is what you're coming to the table with?
Next topic.
Did anybody do anything this week?
I did.
You did. What'd you do?
I feel dirty. I can officially join the Steam Purchase Regret Club.
Oh, what did you buy?
I bought The Void.
You know what? I was looking at that one. That's like
Don't.
I'm assuming that means don't.
the Steam page, the advertisement kind of said it was a action puzzler first-person kind of game.
And it made it sound really cool. The whole premise of the game is that there's this limbo type thing between life and death, and when you die, you don't actually die unless you let all of this life energy dissipate. And so you're going through these like hellish like levels, gathering this energy so that you don't fully die.
Hellish as in fire brimstone, or hellish as in really, really bad?
Like fire brimstone, like you start off in like a limbo type area where it's all just kind of barren and wastelandish kind of thing, and then you move up to other areas that are it's kind of like they're cashing in on the Dante's Inferno theme, because that seems to be the big thing nowadays, and it just made it sound really kind of cool. So they didn't have a demo. The screenshots actually made it look kind of decently cool, and so I bought it kind of sight unseen. I think the Metacritic score was even like 80 out of 100 or something.
How much was it, may I ask?
And it was only $20. So 80 out of 100, it's only $20, and it sounded really, really cool. And I start playing this game, and I realized that it's just absolute shit. You walk around and you pick different colored plants, and you take the energy from the different colored plants, and I can't even really do the explanation justice. You use these different colors to do different things. The different colors give you different like attributes. Like red gives you speed or extra increase in fighting and stuff. And
that bad, huh? Just that bad.
Is it a problem that it's a very convoluted game, or is it a problem that the controls are garbage, or...
The controls aren't fantastic, and they don't ever really explain how you're supposed to play. I mean, picking the plants and getting the color stuff is fine, but then what you do with it afterwards is kind of weird. I never even really made it past the first section. I never even fought any enemies. Think of it like a role-playing game where you've got the world map and then you've got like the instance areas where you like zone into an area. And when you're zoned into an area, you're fine. You're not dying. You can pick these plants and do things. But when you're on like the world map area, your life force is constantly draining. And in order to move from one section to another, you have to spend some of your life force stuff. And I can't make it past the first section because I always die. I know it's because I'm not playing the game properly, but that's kind of the point, is I don't even really know how to play the game properly because they don't really do a great job of explaining it.
So they're just throwing you in the game and assuming you'll figure it out.
They do, and then like the first time you do something, the game takes control and it kind of does the thing you're supposed to do. So you're supposed to pick the plant and then draw the energy out from the plant and put it into this other thing, and it shows you that it's doing that, and you're supposed to kind of do the same thing. But there's no like explanation, it's kind of just like do what we do. From there you're supposed to be able to understand how to do everything else. And then there's one area where you can take color energy that you've gathered and plant it into a dead tree, and then that becomes kind of like a garden. Like you plant this stuff here and you can come back and visit later on. It like makes more of these color things.
This game sounds not entertaining in any way, shape, or form.
Exactly. And then you remember the DS Castlevania game, the one where you had to draw the rune symbols on the screen to do things?
Orchard of Ruins?
Yeah, there's kind of that mechanic here where, so when you go to plant this stuff in the trees, if you draw a specific rune, it like grows faster and gives you more things. And so you draw this Jesus fish looking thing, the little... It's got the head and the little tail. You draw
Gotta get my Jesus fish on!
And so you draw that rune, and then, so I did that a bunch of times, and every time I did it, it said, if you would have drawn the correct rune, you would have gotten the good stuff, but you didn't, so you wasted your energy. I don't know. I'm going to give it a while, and then maybe I'll come back later when I'm bored and have nothing to do and try it again.
No, you won't, dude. Don't even try to say you will, because you'll get your Christmas game, and then that'll be the last you ever see of it.
Look at it this way. Your Steam regret was only a $20 purchase.
Fallen Earth was a full purchase, and it was bad.
Yes. See? So yours doesn't hurt as bad as ours.
Like, $2 crack whore with jagged teeth bad.
Ooh.
Wow.
Next topic.
So let's quickly talk about Dante's Inferno, because last week on the PlayStation Network, they released a demo, and I tried it out.
I hear it's like God of War with boobs.
Well, yes, okay. You do see lots of boobs, yes.
Yeah. Boobs are a good thing, man. I approve.
Ivan, as you said, yes, it is like God of War. In fact, it is God of War.
I'm cool with that, though.
It's basically changed the skin. Instead of the Greeks, put it into the Crusades at the beginning, and then you go into hell. But your main character is like a knight from the Crusades, Dante. Dante here is a bad guy, much like Kratos. He did lots of bad things in his past. And somehow he's trying to absolve himself or find some repentance from his sins and that kind of thing. So when the game opens, you see Dante sitting there in a full cinematic, sewing a cross to his chest. Just, taking a sewing needle and sewing a big-ass red cross to his chest. Screaming while he's doing it.
Because, like, his shirt wasn't good enough?
Apparently he did not like his white little tunic, and he decided to just take the red part of it and then just,
Okay.
It's his way. So, the story of the game is apparently his love interest is being taken and dragged to hell, to the deepest levels of hell, and he must go follow her into hell.
That's a rough one. I don't know if I would do that.
He did.
Good for him.
Now, in playing the game, all of the mechanics feel exactly like God of War. I mean, everything is just like God of War. In fact, you know how you have QuickTime events to take down like a Cyclops or pull his eye out or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
First off, you have to weaken him by hitting him a couple times, and then in God of War, you'd see the circle appear above his head, and then you hit the circle and it starts the whole sequence. Exactly the same thing in Dante's Inferno, except you have an R2 flashes above the thing's head, and you got to push the R2 to activate the sequence. I mean, green chests open up, gives you health. It's God of War.
I'm cool with this because now, since I don't own a PlayStation, I can finally have a God of War game. Like, Wolverine is kind of like God of War, but this sounds like...
Well, now, here's the big difference from Wolverine. In this game, and this is also a difference from God of War, the leveling system seems a lot deeper. There's a lot more to it. There's like a good and bad side and a holy and unholy side. And you get points. You can grab guys in this game. And when you grab the guy, it presents you two options. You can either absolve him or punish him. If you absolve him, you get holy points. If you punish him, you get unholy points. And the more unholy or holy points you get determines what level of unholy or holy skills you can unlock. So then you can go to this big skill tree, and like it shows you're on level 3 unholy. So you have up to all the level 3 unholy skills that you can spend your soul points, which you get from killing people, towards those skills. So it's got a much deeper leveling system.
Well, I'm cool with that. You know what? I think Ivan touched on this before. My only issue with that is it's an all or nothing. You're either going to, punch the baby in the face or kiss its head. There's no neutral. There's no shade of gray. There's no point to it. You're either going to be completely evil or completely good.
The demo didn't give me a sense if I can actually try and go all the way with both trees. I mean, I don't have enough of a sense if it's possible.
Oh, so once you get a holy points, if you kill the person, you don't lose your holy points? You get to keep them?
I think you maintain them. I could constantly keep pumping up my unholy and pumping up my holy at the same time.
So it wasn't a slider?
No, it wasn't a slider.
I was assuming it was like a, Knights of the Old Republic Fallout. Here's your little meter. The more good you do, the higher up it goes. The more bad you do, the lower it goes.
No, you actually have both sides. You have both sides you can increase at the same time.
So you could either be really good and go all the way up the good tree, or really bad and all the way up the bad tree, or both, and probably only make it like halfway up both trees.
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm assuming this game probably has multiple replays, so you might be able to take your stats from one game to the next and try and keep going more. But, it plays just like God of War.
Like I said, though, I'm kind of not that upset with that because God of War is probably one of the best games I've ever played. Since it was only a PlayStation exclusive, I kind of wasn't going to be playing that, so I'm glad that that's the case. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to that one. That's one that I probably will be paying full price for.
Yeah, that is coming out early February.
Well, maybe not. Maybe I'll just wait till March and get it for my birthday then.
I'm surprised you guys are interested in a game that's almost a blatant ripoff of another game.
You know what? But I only played God of War on the PlayStation 2. I would like to see its next generation reiteration. Next generation reiteration. I like that. And have a game like that. So knowing full well it's a blatant ripoff, I know it's going to look cool. I don't know, but I'm assuming the gameplay is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm all right with that. And that's what I said. I'm all right with sequels as long as they're fun. That's what I look for in my game.
And I don't think we've ever had a problem with it if it's a good game. Titan Quest is a blatant ripoff from Diablo, but we love Titan Quest because it's a ripoff of a really good game. And I know there's been a bunch of games that came out for the 360 that were kind of like God of War. Wolverine was one of them. I know the Conan game was another one. And I believe if you go back and listen to us talk about, probably was Conan, was that this is a good game because it's God of War on the 360. And we don't have God of War on the 360, but God of War is a good game, so this is, as good as we can get.
Next topic.
Has anybody tried Fairytale Fights, the demo on the 360?
You know what? I let my my live subscription has lapsed, and I haven't touched it enough to really go out and get it. If I get one for Christmas, I'll redo it, but otherwise I'll wait until there's something worth. I've been PC gaming. Honestly, PC gaming has been taking up my time there.
Yeah, mine ends on Christmas Day.
Well, actually, this one's coming to the PC too, but they don't have a demo on the PC.
It looks like it's kind of along the lines of the hack and slash with a funny twist to it, kind of like Castle Crashers, from what I've seen.
Real quick, so the game is called Fairytale Fights, and they put on the Xbox 360, Xbox Live, a demo which is called the White Room demo. It's not really a demo of the game, it's just a demo of some of the mechanics of the game, and the mechanics of fighting. So basically what you have here is a huge white room, And you have the game itself is based on taking fairy tales and twisting them to make them extremely hyper-violent and bloody. So what this demo is you play the main character, who is just a little girl, and guys come and swarm and attack you. You fight the guys by hacking them up, slashing them in half, cutting them up with chainsaws, and the room is white, so as you cut them down, blood splatters everywhere. I played it once or twice, and the most frustrating thing about this game is how you control the attacks. The attacks are mapped to the right analog stick.
Oh, it's one of those, kind of like Too Human.
Too Human had it that way, an old PlayStation 2 Jet Li game.
You know what else another one had that like that? What was it called? Apocalypse 1, it was Bruce Willis was the voice of the main character.
And some of your attacks, you have to push toward the enemy, back away from the enemy, and then toward again, or like it's a combination of this different stick moves, and it just never works. I tried doing their attacks, all their things, and I could never pull off anything good. I eventually ended up what I call stick mashing, not button mashing, but just stick mashing. I just flailed the little thing all around to try and make it do something. I mean, I could make her do things, but I couldn't make her pull off really cool attacks. It was just frustrating. So if you watch this little demo presentation right here, they show you a little girl hacking things around.
Yeah, it looks honestly like a more violent version of Castle Crashers. When she slides and leaves little blood trails.
I was going to say, it's cool when she ice skates on the blood.
Yeah, again, it's a very good-looking game. It's got its own style, and that music in the game, that really rock-heavy music. There's a choice at the beginning of either classical music or rock.
So this game's already out.
Oh, it is? Okay, so if it's out, still, it doesn't impress me from the demo, based on the controls. I still want to see the PC version. Okay, so back off.
Yeah, tell them.
Yeah, the PC version says it has not yet been released, but 360 is available.
Again, I didn't play the whole game, so I just played this little demo, and I did not like how it did the combat, so I'm going to wait for the PC version to see how much they screwed that one up.
Yeah, the analog stick is such a bad way to fight. It's like poor, lazy controls.
That's what turned me off on Too Human. Yeah, I didn't like the controls.
That was a fun game, except if they would have actually had, press buttons instead of the analog stick, that would have been a lot better.
I kept playing this little demo going, this would have been awesome if I could just push the buttons to do the attacks, but, whatever.
Well, I wonder if you can change that, if there's an option.
I'm just going by what they presented me in their little demo they released.
Next topic.
Moving right along.
Footloose.
There you go. I was waiting for that. Come on, you can speak up.
Footloose and fancy free.
Good. Now I'm never doing it again. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's just go into the mail. There really was no big stories this week.
Mailbag.
Okay, so we have some voicemail which I haven't even listened to yet.
Hello, this is Justin, a.k.a. Fear of the Claw. I was just listening to episode, I think it was 172. You guys were talking about the new Super Mario Bros. Wii and the demo mode that will play the game for you if you can't get through it. I just wanted to let you guys know I have the game. My friend and I have been playing it co-op quite a bit since it came out. And not only have I not used this feature, I don't even know how to access it. So if you're worried that this is going to break the game, don't worry about it. If you're thinking about getting it, get it. It's a great game. I don't even know how to access it. You apparently have to be really terrible at the game to get it. So anyway, thanks for hearing me out, and keep up the great work on a consistently great show.
Okay, I'd just like to say that this guy's wrong, and we'll determine for ourselves on Wednesday when everybody comes over my house.
Oh, why'd you get it?
A friend of mine, I was actually trying to borrow a Mario Kart, and he gave me that one, so...
Why is he wrong?
I don't know. I just felt like being controversial.
Gotta make up for Bob and just be a dick for no reason.
Let me just fill in real quick. There was a guy in the forums who did post. Where the hell was that? There he is.
Yeah, I read that post too.
There was a guy in the forums called MojoBox, and he said you have to die a lot to have that option pop up.
That does make me feel a little better, that you have to be horrible. I still am not a big fan of it, though, because I think it's spoon-feeding our younger generation of gamers. And I just don't want to see that kind of crap creep into all the games going forward, and then it'll be a little bit easier for it to kick in, that kind of thing. I'm more concerned with the slippery slope theory.
Well, would you rather have them put this feature in games or just make the games easier to play so that you can blow through an entire game in 5 hours because it's so easy? Or would you rather them keep the difficulty level but have this feature in there where if you try the same jump 25 times in a row and you keep missing it, it pops up, would you like help with this?
I kind of like the way Devil May Cry did it, where, you were kind of dying and then it just kicked the difficulty down for you. I'm more on board with that than a get me through autoplay it.
So I'm playing devil's advocate here. How's it different from when we were kids and we weren't all rich enough to all have consoles and all have the same games? So someone would have a Nintendo and someone would have Mario Brothers, and we'd sit around and play. And one thing I always had problems with were those stupid Hammer Brothers. Those guys always killed me. And so I had a friend who was just really good at timing the jumps, and so anytime I encountered those stupid Hammer Brother guys, I always handed the controller to him, and he did the little jumpy thing for me, and when he finished, got past him, then he'd give it back. This is kind of the same thing, right?
Yes and no. Because someone's still doing it, I don't have as much of a problem with it. That was kind of group gaming back in the day when group gaming really wasn't built into the game.
Okay, so if you don't have somebody to help you, though, what do? Stop playing the game?
Yeah, get really frustrated and stop playing. I mean,
I'm just, like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate.
No, I know you're just playing devil's advocate. But my thing is, you're going to lose that sense of accomplishment when you beat that impossible stage. Because I've only had a couple games where I've, like Ninja Gaiden, the newer ones. Those I just stopped playing because I wasn't good, and I'm not good enough to play that game. But aside from that, I don't know. I have mixed feelings.
This is no different to me than not being able to get through a level, so you jump on the internet and go to GameFAQs to go to a walkthrough and find out how to do it.
If you look at a walkthrough and they describe the strategy, you could have known the strategy. You just couldn't do it. You couldn't have those reflexes fast enough to do the whatever it is, throw the right analog stick to evade, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Whereas this game is actually doing it for you.
I would rather see, like Devil May Cry, where if you're getting killed, it dumbs down the difficulty versus...
But how do you dumb down a jump? Mario is all about jumping. How do you dumb down a jump? I can understand Devil May Cry, you dumb down, the guys are easier.
Well, maybe they don't have the little spooge in the cloud throwing the spiky things on you while you're trying to do the jump.
Spooge throwing things at you?
The little guy with the glasses and he has the fishing rod and he's in the little cloud and he drops the spiky things on you.
What you're saying is you'd rather have the difficulty actually either make Mario better, higher jump power.
Yeah, stronger jump, higher jump, further. I'd rather lower the difficulty than have it automatically do it for you. I agree with the fact that, I see where they're going with it, but I would rather them lower the difficulty than do the auto.
Okay.
Oh, 7:30.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
I even had a good point to make.
Well, your point would be just as good in about 2 minutes.
Just keep saying it over in your head, over and over again. Type it in Notepad, just something so you don't lose it.
Like, start saying numbers, so you can remember things. Actually, no, that wouldn't help, would it? No, you'd forget faster then. Sorry. You're going to forget it.
Whatever. Move on. Next topic.
Keith, you probably can help this guy out. Actually, you're probably the only one here who can help this guy out.
Oh, you poor bastard.
I've been listening to your podcast for a while, and I've started to listen to what you guys say, so I want to know if I can only get one. Should I get Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter Nights?
Neverwinter Nights.
Well, hang on. He might mean Baldur's Gate. Isn't Baldur's Gate 2 better than Baldur's Gate 1?
Yeah, I'm assuming he means Baldur's Gate 2, but regardless, Neverwinter Nights. Baldur's Gate 2, there's your game. You play the game. There's the one expansion for it. It's an awesome game. It's a lot of fun. But Neverwinter Nights has tools to build levels on there. So you can go out and download new levels. People just make maps and boards and dungeons, and you can go out and download them. So it's kind of never-ending content versus Baldur's Gate 2, which you would play it, and when you beat it, really that's kind of the end of it because all the quests, everything is the same. So I would say if you're going to go for one or the other, Neverwinter Nights would be a better bet because you can go download and get all the extra content that your heart desires.
We should stipulate here he should play Neverwinter Nights 1, not Neverwinter Nights 2. Or play 1 first.
Neverwinter Nights 1 is a better game. Neverwinter Nights 2, the main quest wasn't very good. Like the campaign that came with the game really wasn't that swift.
Next topic.
Okay, now I think we have an email here from someone who either didn't listen to our show a couple times we talked about Torchlight, or, well, I just don't think he listens to those shows.
Which is now $10, by the way.
Which is not $10. We can get that in a second. But first off, this is from Larry.
Hi, I've got 3 brothers, and they're all named Daryl.
See, you're wrong there, Ivan.
2 brothers. Sorry. 3 brothers total, 2 Daryls.
There you go. No one's going to get that, you know.
I've heard that, but I forget where it's from. I'm Larry. This is my brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl.
The Bob Newhart Show.
Yeah.
Okay. From Larry. Why aren't you guys all over Torchlight? I have played through Diablo 2 many times. When I played some Torchlight on a friend's computer a few days ago, it totally took me back. He goes on to mention all the things we mentioned about Torchlight from the 2 or 3 episodes we talked about it.
Yeah, he probably just didn't listen to the episodes where we already were all over it. But if it's $10, I'm about to be going and buying it.
I would definitely do it now because I think it's a sale. I don't think they permanently drop the price.
The $10 is a sale because they added achievements in and Steam Cloud support. So you can take your character all over the place.
Okay, I'm going to fire up Steam and start downloading this.
Well, I'm not going to do that right now because may all sound like Ivan with the Mad Masturbator upstairs.
It's good and bad. The Steam Cloud thing is awesome. I put it on my laptop and I was doing the manual transfer thing for a while, so it's nice to not to have to do that. The achievements, I'm never going to say achievements are a bad thing. The only problem I had is that they weren't retroactive, so they introduced achievements, and if you had a level 50-something character, they don't have any achievements. And some of them are basic, like give your pet a spell. I've done that 100 times already, but I don't get the achievement because I have to make a new guy and do that. So
that was what I was specifically waiting for, was for Steam to have its sale. Just because I'm a cheap bastard, I'm trying to conserve money. So I knew it was going to happen eventually. That's the one good thing about Steam, is you can almost say without any questions, ifs, ands, or buts, Steam will eventually have a sale that will lower the price.
This sounds like it'd be a good game for anyone that's got like a little laptop and doesn't need anything really powerful and just wants to throw something.
Yeah, it's no Borderlands.
It's got a netbook mode, so I mean it's even capable of running on a tiny little underpowered netbook.
Well, that's sweet.
It's an awesome game. It's totally worth $20, so a $10 sale is... If you have a computer and you have Steam, you should buy the game.
If you have a computer and you play games on it, there's no reason why you shouldn't have Steam, to be perfectly honest.
Which is true. So we're assuming that that's the case. So if those two things are true, buy Torchlight. It's absolutely worth $10.
And that was Video Game Show episode number 173 for Sunday, December 20th, 2009. Any ham sandwiches, share dream pies, or apathy cakes to give to the world? People.
We can give a ham sandwich to the Browns. They won again, and actually Jerome Harrison broke the single game record for the Browns. He eclipsed Jim Brown's record. And then also Josh Cribbs is now... does he have the most kickoff returns for a touchdown?
Yeah, in the league history.
Can I give a ham sandwich to Clash of the Titans?
That looks cool, doesn't it?
Yes, that looks really cool.
Are they remaking the movie?
Yeah, they're remaking Clash of the Titans, and you have to see the trailer. Liam Neeson is Zeus.
Well, that's just fits. Ham sandwich to everyone. Merry Christmas, since we won't do a show before Christmas.
So Bob's going to be out for a couple weeks, and I'm going to be out a couple weeks.
It's going to be the Ivan, Keith, and Chad show.
We got all the good people.
And as usual, send your comments, questions, queries, concerns, or a roll call question to the mailbag at mailbag@videogameshow.org, Skype us at videogameshow, or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a stand long distance call, and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night.
What's up, yo?
Hey, how you doing?
All right, you?
Very good.
Very good. Wow.
He's probably drunk.
Good.
I'm not drunk.
Probably drunk.
I'm not drunk.
You're drunk, aren't you?
You're drunk.
I am not drunk. Why would I be drunk at 6:30
I don't know.
on a Sunday?
Hey, I did it all the time.
Like you've never been drunk by 6:30.
Not usually, no.
No, usually, yes. Now, I'll buy that.
Usually I'm starting to sober up by 6:30.
Usually I'm moving into the heroin by 6:30.